Hello, welcome back again to the next episode of the Just Talkin podcast here at the Cow Farmers Co-op. Again, today we're back out here on Cody Etherton's farm to look at the Ulti-Graze application. We got Maddie Wheeler with Corteva AgriScience with us again to look at the results of what Cody's done here. Cody, tell us about what you've done here on your farm.
About 19 days ago, or exactly 19 days ago, we went out with 250 pounds of just a pasture blend fertilizer, and I ran Duracor at 20 ounces. I applied all this with a buggy, and we went up. We stayed here about a week before we had any measurable rainfall, but I think the grass is looking good.
Grass looks great. You got plenty of grass. Yeah. So, Maddie, what are you thinking about the kill that you're seeing here with the Duracor?
Absolutely. Well, I think the first visible notice, like you said, grass is looking good. We definitely saw an improvement in the amount of forage we've got up here. The color's really rich. We're seeing some improvement on that from that application. And then as we walk through here, we're starting to see the thistles and plantain and other things we spotted out here when we were out here last time starting to curl up and really die. Now, a few of those might be slower than we would initially want with the fact that it sat there for a little bit without that moisture, but we're seeing them curl up, we're seeing them die. We're seeing some out here that, man, they're pretty crispy already. And we'll continue to see that as it's taking more up from the roots, as that active ingredient is sitting there in that soil. We'll see more increase of the kill as we move into these coming weeks. The other thing we'll see is that residual's down. It's going to be there to protect us from stuff that's going to start to try and emerge in the following weeks here. As the temperatures are good, we've got some more weeds that are trying to come up. We've both put a herbicide down to help with that emergence. We've also really increased our competition of grass, canopying over a lot of this blank space, which meant we've got a lot of good forage out here to really play good competition.
We do. Now, the kill that we're seeing here on these weeds, the Graze on Next, similar to the Duracor, right? Okay, so not really, I guess it's personal preference as to which product or weed type that you got. Like I said, we was talking before, you kind of want to walk and see what your weed pressure is and then compare it to the chemistry that you might need then.
Absolutely. And we talk about both chemistry and application type. One thing that I told Cody as we were out here and he was telling me his plans, with some of the plantain we saw out here, we might see some varying results with that treated fertilizer. And I think we're absolutely seeing that. We're seeing areas where we got some prill contact on some plantain. We're seeing more buckhorn plantain, kill in that area. Or maybe there's one that didn't have a prill that landed in that direct vicinity that's a little bit slower through that root uptake. Maybe if that was my biggest problem, I'd take a broadcast spray. In terms of the treated fertilizer, I really like what I see in Duracor. It's been very successful. It's been really easy to blend. Cody, maybe y'all can speak to some of that in terms of the blending process and putting it out and what we see in that standpoint. But in terms of the weed spectrum we have in this area, it feels like Duraforce fit really well for that treated fertilizer, Ulti-Graze application in particular.
Yeah, I feel like over the last probably 2 years, we've increased Duracor dramatically and having great results from Duracor. We still do a lot of graze on next, and of course, I'll leave that up to the producer. But now, tell me if I'm wrong, but you think with Duracor in a perfect scenario, we get a little bit more residual there than we do with graze on?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You get a little more of that amino pyrrolid, plays really well on the ground, paired with that Rinskor active ingredient is really strong on a lot of our weed spectrum. Although in that treated fertilizer, like we talked about the first time, we're really relying more on that root uptake, that residual amino pyrrolid, so plays really well to that application.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good, Cody. It looks like you've got a great kill out here. It is worked real well for you here. So just kind of recap, the window for the Ulti-Graze application is in 1st of March, sometime depending on the season, up through end of April, you say, or further, later?
It's going to be a little bit dependent on what all we're trying to capture. Now, we've gone through the seasons here in North Alabama. Man, we tried to do this on Monday, and it was snowing.
We had snow.
It was a little bit prettier here today. Yeah. I typically see things start going out in early March, depending on what our weather does. Now, if you're trying to capture something like buttercup in your pastures and hay fields, I really like that March application. We need to capture it before that buttercup starts to go to flower for us. If maybe you've got a few thistles and things out there and you're putting out that application more to play the residual into the early summer months, that's where maybe an April application is going to start fitting better for us to get that residual out. Kind of going to be a few different options there. Again, important to know what your goals are. walk your pastures and your hay ground and know what weeds we have.
Okay. All right. And again, if somebody's got questions or problems, you're available.
I am.
You're available.
Absolutely.
I'm available. Cody's available. And the folks at the Crossville store and Albertville store and other ones at Rainsville, we're all available. And the ultra-graze process is available at all 3 stores at whatever point, that people decide to do that. But I think we're in good shape here. I think Cody's in good shape, really. Cody going to put a hay mower out here for lunch. But we appreciate you again at the Cab Farmers Co-op. And if any of this is interesting to you, just give us a call at any of the stores, and we'll be glad to help you anytime. And Maddie, thank you for coming by and helping us. And
Thank you.
Cody, thanks for letting us use your place.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Till next time.